If you have made your mind on being an entrepreneur, the most important decision now is what type of business you should start. This decision is highly related to the industry in which you want to venture. There's a whole lot of industry in Africa. Some of them are matured industries, while others are still in their primitive stages. You can be a great entrepreneur, but picking the wrong industry can literally make your entrepreneurial journey a real hell on earth and even make you lose belief in your capacities as an entrepreneur. How then can one rightfully select an industry? What are the key metrics involved in the selection of an industry? This lays out 8 most important steps involved in the selection of an industry. If this is your first time watching us, make sure you subscribe so that you never miss any of our videos. Now let's get right into it. 1. Have a vivid industry interest. This is what most people call your passion, but we prefer to call it a vivid industry interest. If you must be genuinely interested in that industry, there must be something about that industry that excites you. It might be the mechanisms in that industry or even the impact that this industry is having on society. Whatever it is, you must find it, and it must be interesting enough to give you that motivation to start a business in that industry and make it successful. You know it must be interesting enough. If you do not have an industry interest and you are venturing into it because of the FOMO or the fear of missing out, then when things start going wrong, you will be quick to pack up and leave. Do not follow the crowd. Follow your interest. It will be more rewarding than you think. 2. Understand the core mechanisms of the industry. Despite the variety of businesses in an industry, some key mechanisms are common to all of them. As a potential entrant, you must understand these principles and make them a part of your penetration plan. It can be the starting point to your unique process, which can just be an alteration of the pre-existing processes. A deep understanding of these mechanisms will also be pivotal in dealing with the competition, which leads us to our third point. 3. Know your competition. Bill Gates once said, whether it's Google or Apple or free software, we've got some fantastic competitors, and it keeps us on our toes. Competition is very important in business. If you are going to succeed in an industry, it mostly means that you are going to take a portion of the market share of the current business operating in that industry. This would not be possible without you knowing who are these businesses. What is their value proposition? What makes customers patronize their products or services? Once you know these key points about them, you can even know whether it is worth venturing in that industry. In the case your value proposition is not unique or will not make customers see you differently, then do not bother venturing in that industry. Do you already have an idea of your competition? Let us know in the comment section. 4. Study diligently the top players. When you are fixated on a particular industry or even have your unique value proposition, it is worth studying the top players in the industry. There are mostly hundreds of companies in each industry. When a few of them manage to control a significant market share, it means there is something particular about them, and therefore double attention must be given to them. Learn about why they are successful and how you can imitate or improve on what they do. Also, if there is a group of competitors likely to take you out of the market, it is this same group of very powerful industry leaders. Therefore, know them as much as you can so that you can defend yourself well when they strike. 5. Assess scalability in your industry. Some industries from the outside appear very lucrative and therefore seem to attract many entrants every year. From a closer look, the reality is completely different. There is little or no considerable margins to be enjoyed in them. The cost of entry is very high and the regulatory framework is very tight. These types of industries, in the words of Renee Marbon and W. Chan Kim, are red oceans. They are flooded with excessive competition and give little chance for success to new entrants. Besides that, the business model in these industries is not scalable, therefore giving little growth potential to its players. Knowing the level of scalability in your industry is essential to avoid being stagnant. 6. Understand the regulatory environment in your industry. Every industry is regulated by the political powers and operates under a particular jurisdiction. As a potential entrant, you need to know the laws and governmental rules of the industry. You will need to also get the necessary authorization if you decide to establish yourself in that industry. Failure to apprehend the regulatory framework can be costly to you and your business. It is quite hard to do business in Africa, which is one of the challenges you have encountered so far as an entrepreneur. Let us know which challenge you have encountered so far as an entrepreneur. Let's hear from you and have a discussion around it. 7. Understand funding avenues in your industry. It is nearly impossible to build a big business without external funding. Your business may be thriving in the early days with your funds, but when assessing an expansion project, you might need a push. You may at this stage think about equity financing or debt financing. Nevertheless, know what the economy has as available funding opportunity for businesses in the industry you want to venture in. It may be that banks are reluctant to give loans to business in your industry. If that is the case, you must be aware before you join that list. 8. Beware of the risk. There's no industry without its dose of risk. Agriculture is great, but has its own portion of risk, and it goes across every industry. IT is also risky, but the real focus needs to be on the element or the factors that make that industry risky. In your study of the industry, you will fall upon businesses that have failed. Chances are that these failures are related to the risk involved in the industry. It is therefore worth spending time learning on the risk involved in your market. Now you have a comprehensive idea of what is needed before venturing in a new industry as an entrepreneur. Africa is still in its early entrepreneurship years, and the biggest companies are yet to be built. African talent should not be wasted or invested in the wrong places. Thank you for watching us, and see you next time. Bye.